Okay, so far here's where we stand with Charizard. Um, we are going to be connecting the tail right now, and then after the tail, we're going to be adding on his stomach. Once we do the stomach, then we're going to go ahead and wire him. Right? And then after the wiring, we're going to go ahead and connect the stomach to the body, because all we're going to do is just build the stomach from the tail. Right now, we're just going to go ahead and connect the tail to the body, and it's going to be, I kind of did this and didn't really realize where I was going to connect, but it should work. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to be connecting it from the back part. Turn your tail to the orange side, and the first thing we want to notice is there is, I think we added 20 C-clips in total, if I remember correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 20 C-clips in total. No, 16. Yes, 16 C-clips in total. There is 8 orange. There's 2 transition ones that, and what I mean by that is that these have the orange and the yellow, the orange and the yellow, and then you have 6 in the yellow or your neon orange color. Okay. So these 6 is where your stomach will be attached. Okay, we're gonna be building the stomach from here, but we're gonna connect the 8 orange and the 2 transition ones, so the 10 to the back right here. Okay. First, let's go ahead and build our stomach. Because I'm thinking that's going to be so much easier. We're going to go ahead and continue with our double loom. And these will act as cap bands. So in order to do that, we need to start off from the top of our loom. Hang on, I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Yes, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Like I said, there's 6 that have to be in ends. Right here, your loom, if you turn it to the side and you go right to the middle, okay, there's your number 7 peg from either direction, which is in the middle. That one, okay, doesn't matter which one. We're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna go from 7 here, and then this is your 6th, your 5th, okay, and your 4th. All right, and your 4th one, that's where you're gonna connect this one. So you're gonna use a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Okay. Well, sorry about that. Never mind. It'll be, yes, there's your 4th one. Yes, I'm counting wrong. There's your 4th one, all the way to your 9th. Okay. So in order to do that, we're gonna be starting off from up here and transitioning over here. We're gonna be working with double bands, unless I tell you to. And the double bands, we're going to go ahead and create our border first. And they're going to come off from the edges. Oh yeah, here, right here. Yes, that's right. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do double bands here. And double bands here. Now, double bands going in at an angle. Double bands going here at an angle. Let me just... There we go. That should be a little better. Alright. Double bands again, going in at an angle. Double bands again, going in at an angle. One last time. And right here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And we obviously cannot go right here to this one. So this is going to be quite a stretch. This one's going to go here to this one, okay? That's going to be quite a stretch, okay? And the reason we're doing that is because we're going to be adding a middle row, right? And the middle row, we're going to go ahead and do now. We have to start off from up here and do all of these rows first. This is going to be with double bands. Wait, hold on. Am I doing this correctly? No, I'm sorry. These go last. How did I forget that? The pattern that we're doing is different, that's why. I'm sorry. Take these off. Okay, now we have our border. Now we're going to create our pattern. And our pattern is going to be with one single bands, okay? And it's going to start from the outside towards the inside. It's going to go at angles. So do one at an angle, another band here, single angle. And that's it for there. Let's go on to this side. This one is going to go at an angle. This one's also going to go at an angle. Okay. Alright. Now that you have those, we're going to go ahead and just finish off this one that's in here. So this one's also going to go in continually into that direction. Like so. Which means that this one's also going to go in that direction. And instead of connecting it right here, this also has to connect on to this one. Alright. Now, again, that's another stretch. So now we have to do these towards the middle. Right here. And now this one also go towards the middle with single bands. Remember, one band. And again, this one has to get stretched out to this one. Okay. Now, we're going to do yeah, let's just continue like that. And let's just stop right here. So this one okay. So there, right here, we already have our middle case happening. Okay. And that one is going to go here, 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 and here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now this one's going to go here. Oops. 3, 4, right there. Now we have our V. Okay, so the rest are going to keep going in that same V direction. Make sure you keep adding them the same way. You want to start off from the outside and move your way to the inside. Now that we finally have it right here, we don't really need to add anymore. Okay, our pattern is done. So now we're going to go ahead and do double bands again, right? 2 bands. And this time, we're going to start from the top, moving to the bottom, okay? So let's do the middle first. Double bands. Again, double bands. Start from the top, move your way to the bottom. Right here, there's no middle part right here, obviously. So that means that this is going to be created within that section. So we have to create our own little connector. And in order to be able to create that connector, otherwise there's going to be this huge gap right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cross, and I'm going to go back to doing these two bands singles, and I'm going to do one going here and the other one going here. So now we have this kind of goofy looking cross, right? And we're gonna cross them in order to be able to hold that area. And another part, we're going to be doing a holding band, but we're not going to do it yet because that's going to be at the very end. Next thing, again, we're going to be working with double bands, and let's move on first to this side, okay? And we're going to be moving our way down. And this one goes here. Okay. So now this side, double bands. Again, remember double bands. Right here, it's actually going to go to this one. Okay, so make sure it's like that. Now the other side again, right here. Okay, so now the other side, right here. And again, this last one has to go in an angle, right here. Okay. One more time on this side. The top all the way to the bottom. Now this side. And again, the last one is at an angle. Right there. Right here on this side. The other side. last ones. On this side. Okay, now the last thing we're going to do is grab one band, you're going to cap it, and you're going to put it right here in that middle part on these. So make sure it's holding onto the middle, and then the two starter ones right here. Okay. Now we need to attach our tail. The first one you're going to attach, not this one, okay, because this one has orange. And you see how it has both colors? You're going to start off with this one, okay? So go ahead and just grab an end that looks best for you. You're going to put it right here in this peg. Next one. Right here. Next one. Kind of try to see that they're not twisted, okay? You don't want them to twist. So I'm making sure I'm grabbing all of them and that it's not coming out twisted. Last one. Okay. Yeah. That should be all 6. At this point, if you want, you can take out the clips. Whatever's easiest for you. Okay, so I'm just taking out all the clips, okay? Go ahead and do that for all of them. When the rest of the clips are off, then you can just go ahead and work from it now. So you see all my clips are now off, so I can loom in peace now. The first ones we're going to loom will be the ones that go up, okay? We're going to start off with the ones towards the middle here. And the reason for that is because we have these and these, okay? Because we need to do the middle one also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it to the side. And you see how there's this gap right here? We have our triangle. You're going to go to the tip of this triangle right here. Grab the top two. You're going to loom that one up. And loom this one up all the way. Or at least to the side, to your left. Okay. Now that one's done, we're going to go back in here on the bottom one. And you're going to go under those and grab these two. Loom that over to this one. And now you're going to loom this one all the way to the end. When you're done with that, now we're going to go ahead and take care of the middle. And in order for that to happen, this has to be loomed. And this one's going to be cross-loomed here to that middle one. So now this one, in here, in the peak of our triangle, we're grabbing that one. We're going to cross-loom it also to the middle one. Alright, now that one's done, we can do the middle. So loom that up. Right now we should have these 3 rows loomed, and that's it for so far. Now we can go ahead and loom the rest up, but in order to do that, we need, these 2 are going to be done first, and then we're going to do this side and move up. Okay, so let's do this one now. Okay, I'm gonna continue looming like this. Okay, now that one's done, we're going to grab this one and loom that up. And now we can loom this over. Okay, now we're going to go back in here and loom this up and loom this one over. Now we're going to go in here, loom this one up, and you're not going to loom these, okay? We're going to leave that one at the end. Let's go down to this one. So now we are right here, okay? Where there's this gap. So we have to go in here, grab those 2, loom that there, and now loom up. Okay, now this one, go in here, loom that over, now loom these to the side. Okay, so now we need to go back in here, grab these 2 that are left over. Oops. These 2. You're gonna loom them here. is correct. At least I hope so. Yeah, okay. So now you're gonna do these. And loom these up. Now you're gonna go back in here, grab the bottom two, which are these, and loom these over down here. And then you're gonna loom these to the side. Now in here, grab the bottom two, and loom these over right here. And stop right there. We're not going to loom these because these have to be loomed first. So now, all the ones that go at the V angle are going to be loomed. Starting with the ones on the very corner right here. Because there isn't one right here, we're going to go in here. Okay. The second one. Go in there, grab that bottom one, and loop it back to where it came from. You see that teardrop? So now you have to go in here, where the teardrop is. Go in there, and then teardrop is forming, so loop it back where it's coming from. Go again, loop it back where it's coming from. And this one, loop it back where it's coming from. Now go back down. We just did that one, so now we're going to do this one. Go in here, grab that bottom one, should be one band, loop it back where it's coming from. Hopefully you get what we're doing. Oh. Alright, go back again. Right here, there isn't one that's going this way anymore. You have to, because we just did that cross one. So you have to go in here on this one. This is the next one, right there. And keep looming up. Right there. Alright, now, this is the middle one. This is the next one. We're gonna go in here. Actually, no, that one's at the very bottom. See how mine is at the very bottom and this one is at the top? We're gonna have to do the opposite way. So this one's gonna be next for us. Right here. It's kind of stuck in there, so let me see if I can get to loosen it out. Relieve the tension. Okay, put it back on my hook. Now it's relieved. Stretch it out a little and loom it back to where it's coming from. Right there. So now I have to do this one. Going back in there. Grab this one. And loop it back where it's coming from. Go in here. Go in there. Then in here, we're gonna go back right here and start on this one now. Okay. Actually no, sorry, this one. There, because there's the bottom one right there. I can see it. So go in here, grab that bottom one, take it out, and loop it back where it's coming from. Go inside here, grab the bottom one, loop it back where it's coming from. And that's it. So now we're going to move on to this one. Okay. Loop that one. So it's kind of like backwards looming pretty much. Now back to the middle. Right here there's the RV. So the first one is the one that, for me at least, is the one that goes this way. So we're gonna do all the ones that go down first. Make sure you're going under all of them. So again, in the middle, there's our V. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the top one and keep looming my way down. Back in the middle, so right here. And I just need these two. And there it is. So now this one. Okay. Notice how these are still in the bottom. So now we can go ahead and loom those. And keep looming. Right there. I'm going to keep looming this all the way up, and then this one. And now I'm done. So it should look like that. Okay. Now we're going to loom the sides ones. And the other side, the bottom right here. Okay, we don't need to do slip knots because all we have to do is just take out this peg, push all your bands down, and you're gonna take off everything except for this last peg, okay? So go ahead and take out everything from your peg. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna pull another Venusaur on you guys. Again, sorry, but for some reason my camera failed on the last session. I've already extended it to this much. So what I did was, after I took it out of the peg, I left it on this row, and then I took out this row, put it right here, and I just kept extending. Alright, so I extended it 5 more times. This is 5. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to be able to do that again. It's pretty easy. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go ahead and take these out except for this last row. And we're just going to switch it over to here and extend again. So what we need to do now is go ahead and take it out except for this last row. Okay, so I'm actually going to push my bands down. So that way I know that they're secure and they're not going to fall off. And I'm just going to take this out carefully. This is the last one I'm taking off because I don't want to take out the last row, remember? Now that that one's off, we're going to take this off, okay? And we're going to switch it with here. And there we go. Okay. So right now, I've just increased it by 5. We have 5 rows again right here, so we're going to go ahead and increase it another 5. Right. And after these 5, we're going to increase it just 3 more times, okay? So you're going to have to do this until you have 13 rows after your initial part from the tail, okay? So it should be looking like this right now. Yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, so this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna start off from. I'll just leave it like this for layering for when I'm doing my layout. You're gonna start off with your border, okay? Alright. So what I did on this one, you guys should be actually like right here, okay? Not all this. It should actually look like this right now, and then you'll get to that part. What I did was I started out with double bands and I did my border, and I started out from up here, and you're gonna go all the way down to here and all the way down to here, okay? So in this case though, because I already did the 5 right there, I need to start decreasing mine. So I'm gonna decrease right here. And I'm gonna do this one. So if you're doing the next one, just start it off from right here, okay? Just like you saw on the previous, just a few seconds ago. Okay. Sorry, it's confusing. What you're gonna do right here is you're just gonna lay these 2 bands like this, okay? Don't even connect them or anything. So if you're continuing with making this section, you're gonna obviously put 2 bands right here, okay? But because I'm already done with this, I'm gonna start the top portion of my stomach, so I'm gonna start to decrease right here. And again, I'm gonna leave 2 bands right here, okay? I'm not even gonna do anything with them. Now we need to do our angle ones, okay? And we're gonna start off with right here in the middle. This is obviously our middle, so I'm gonna create my V. I'm gonna start off with the right side first and then the left. And then I'm gonna do all the top row first. This is my end, so I'm not gonna add another one right here, obviously, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and do a second row. Third row. Fourth. And now this side. Okay, do your top row. Next row. Oh, this one's deformed. Yeah, that's fine. Next row. We'll figure that out right now. Hold on. Okay. Now the last ones, I'm just gonna go ahead and put one band right there on the pegs, okay? I'm not gonna connect them either. Actually, I don't need any right here in the middle one. The middle one doesn't need it. Okay. Alright. And we need to fix these floating ones. Okay. So the way we're gonna do that, we're just gonna do this. Take it out for really quick, and then you're just gonna go ahead and add a single one right there. Same thing for this side. This is the floating one, so just go ahead and add a single one that goes there. Okay. Because it needs to connect somewhere, otherwise it cannot stay there floating. All right. Now that we have that, we're gonna go ahead and work with double bands. Okay, double bands again, and we're gonna start off with our middle part. We're gonna connect right there. Go there. And work our way down to the bottom. When we get here, alright, this is what we're going to do. We're going to need two hooks. One of them is going to grab oh, no, there's not one here. So not yet. This one's going to be pretty easy. The middle one, there is no side ones yet. So what I'm going to do, because there's only 4 bands, alright, that's what I want. We're going to grab 2 bands, and I'm actually going to lay them right there in the middle. I'm going to grab those 2 bands, go through here, and then loop it. If it decides to loop, there we go. Alright. And that part is done. So now we're going to go ahead and loop this all the way up. So since your layout is pretty much going to be the same way, go ahead and you're going to do this exact same layout, but you're going to fill out the whole thing, okay? You're not going to have this issue right here. All right, because you need to do this extension. Because you need to have 13 sections after we are done with the tail. Now the next part will be over here, and this is where we're gonna need our second hook. You see this single individual band right here, right? This is the one that goes at an angle. I'm gonna take it out really quick and leave it on my hook. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and grab two bands again, put them right there. I need to go and grab with my second hook the four bands. Okay, so I have the four bands, not the bottom one. I don't want the bottom one. Okay, I'm taking it off just so I can show you. I just want these four. I'm gonna put it back on my peg because I was just showing you which ones I need to grab. I'm gonna grab the top two neon orange, and I'm gonna pull them through and loop those up. Do you see how that bottom one is still down there? That's what I want. Okay. And now, oops, I forgot to add all these. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and do that first. How could I forget? I should probably do all these right now before I do that section. That means, let's do this first. This, I can go ahead and put it back on that peg. These four, I'm gonna need to lift up. Leave it on the peg because I need to add these two bands. And now I'm gonna put these four back on this peg. And now I can loom it up. Just grab the top two bands. Okay. Now we're just gonna lay the bands over. And we'll do the looping after we're done with the layout. So keep working with the bands. And you're gonna stop right here, okay? You're gonna stop on these sections. We're not gonna add the last ones until we're done with the whole entire layout. Now down here. Okay, now that they're all done, now we can go ahead and do our connectors. And again, we're gonna grab with double bands. I'm gonna start from up here. And I'm gonna need my second hook also, okay? So make sure you grab this top one, leave it on your hook. You're gonna grab just these four. I'm gonna put these two there. I'm gonna grab them now. Be careful not to snag that bottom one. And put this back on there. Okay. So just like that. Now we can go ahead and loom this one. This band is getting snagged along, but that's totally fine. We don't want it to get attached to anything. Next one. I'm gonna leave my two there. I'm gonna grab this one, leave it on my hook, grab these four bands, then grab these two bands, like this, pull them through, and loop it. Now this one I'm gonna go ahead and put back on there, and then continue looping here. Alright, again, the other side. I'm gonna grab these two off, leave it on my hook, put these right there, grab these four, then grab these two bands, put this one back on, and keep looping. Okay, now this one. Okay, get back on there. There we go. Yeah. Let me just get this one first. There we go. Now put this one. Okay, and keep looping. Alright, now that one's been done, so we're gonna go directly to this one. So take this top one off, leave it on your hook, add the two bands here. You're gonna go under these four, right? Just these four, leave that bottom one there, grab these two bands, And now put this back on there and loop these. Okay, next one. 2 bands. I'm going to take this one off, leave it on my peg, go into the 4, grab these 2, put this one back on, okay, and keep looping. Right here. Take the top one. Lost the pen right there. Last one. Okay. The borders we're going to do at the very, very end. Okay. We're not going to do it right now. Let's go ahead and start off right here in the middle. Okay. So now we're going to do the diagonal ones. And we're going to just grab that bottom floating band and loop up. And now you can move your way to looping that all the way up. Just follow that line. And it ends right there. Now the next one, I'm going to go under all these, grab that band, and loop that all the way up, follow the line. This is the one where we added on to that extra floating part. So we're going to loop this one to the side, like that. Okay. Now this one, go under all these, grab that floating band, now loop your way up. again right here. Okay, this one's actually gonna need 3 bands. Alright. So you're only gonna grab one, loop that, and now you're gonna go in here and grab these 2. And loop that. And you can actually loop this up now since we've done all these already. And then this to the side. Alright, so this side's done. Now we just continue right here and then the other side, okay? Since mine, these are the top ones, and then these are in the bottom, I'm gonna go this side first, okay? But I'm gonna continue with these bottom ones first, okay? So I'm gonna go in here in the middle, grab that floating one, loop my way over to the bottom diagonal. So just continue looping like this. Now right here, go under all these, grab that floating band, and then right here, I'm just gonna go to the sideways, grab this one, and then loop it down. Okay. Now done here, grab that floating one, okay. Continue my way. Almost done. And then I need a third band right here. Grab only one, the top one. And then right here, grab the other 2. And now you can loop that up. Oops, I don't even know if that was on the camera or not. So now that I looped that up, let's go ahead and finish the rest of these, okay? So I'm going to go in here, grab the top one, which should be the one going downwards. Here, top one, it goes down. Okay, now I'm gonna do the ones that go. Going up is a lot easier. If you notice, I push my bands down so that way, of course, I just know that they're going to be secured like that. When you're done, you want to always make sure that everything has been latched by checking in here. Everything seems to have been latched, so that's good. Check the other side too. There's no bands that are missing. So now again, we're going to take out the entire thing except for this row, okay? So leave this row there. Alright, now take this off. Do this one. And this here. Oops. There we go. Okay. We need, if you're at this point already, then we only need 3 rows left. But if you are still doing the other section, go ahead and do what I just did. Okay? And once you get to this point, then we can go ahead and start doing the final 3 rows. Okay, so if you need to rewind or pause the video, okay, if you remember, but I'm gonna go ahead and start off. So here's what we're gonna do. Right here, there's this row, okay, 2 and 3. This is our third one. This is gonna be our final one, so we have to start off right here with the middle, and then we're gonna go ahead and do 2 bands going off from the middle, okay? And again, one more time, 2 bands right there. Okay, and the last, again, 2 bands like this. Now we're gonna go down at an angle. Let me just, okay, so we're gonna go 2 bands like this. 2 bands like this. Now we're gonna go down at an angle. Let me just, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, no. Sorry about that. We're gonna go these, put them down at an angle instead. This one and this one too. So it should only be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then these, we're gonna go down at an angle. So then this one goes down also at an angle. And this one also goes down at an angle. Alright. And now we're gonna leave 2 bands here. And 2 bands here, okay? Now let's go ahead and do our V's. We're gonna start off with right here in the middle with 1 band, okay? Individual bands. And then do your top row. And then, oops, from the outside, sorry. So next one's gonna be actually here. Horizontal, okay? And then do your angle on that one, your angle on this one, okay? And right there. This one's gonna go also at an angle. This one too. And finally this one. Okay, so you see how this one's being connected? That's what you want. So now, again, we're gonna do one going horizontal, oops, right here. Another one going horizontal right here. And then, we're gonna go ahead and put a single one on each one of these, okay? And just leave them there, floating, except for the middle one. So you only need 6 floating ones right there. Okay, now let's go ahead and do double bands again. We're gonna do the middle parts. Start off right there, right here, and let's do the rest of them. We're gonna do this bottom row at the very, very end. And then this right there. Now the other side. And then right there. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the ones to connect. And again, right here, we need to pick up this top one, leave it on your hook, I'm gonna add the 2 bands right there. I'm gonna go under the 4, grab the top 2, and put this one back on. And there's this floating one right here I totally forgot about, and we need to attach it to this one. So what I'm gonna do is, again, I'm gonna take off this top one here, oops, no, not that one. I need to take off, you see how this is my border? This one's the border. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that one, these 2 bands, and then there's the angle one. So I have 3 bands right now on my hook. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna add this one. Okay, this is the one I'm gonna add right there. And the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna go under everything right here. I'm gonna grab that band now. I'm gonna keep it with my fingers. I'm gonna pull it under, and I'm gonna put this right above right there, and this I'm gonna go under all of them except the last 2. So you see I'm not going under the last 2 because that's the border one. I'm gonna go and put it inside. So now it's holding on to all of them. And I can put these 3 bands back on there. First that one, and now these 2. I hope you guys figured out what I did. Okay, so you see what I did? There we go. I put it under all of them so that way now it's being held. And we'll do the border at the very end, okay? Again, let's keep working with these. And then, oops, yes, 2. 2 bands, grab those 2. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. I forgot to lift up this one. I'm gonna grab these 2 again that I just put. There's 1. I'm gonna grab that other one. There's 2. And now put this one over. Okay, so right here I'm gonna do it correctly. I'm gonna take it out of my hook. Grab 2 bands. Go under the 4. Grab these 2. Come on. There you go. And put this on top. Now this one, take it out. Two bands. Go under the 4. So now this one, and the middle one's going to be pretty easy to do because we have nothing to hold. You're just going to go under these 4, grab those 2, and put that on. Now right here, you need to grab this top one. There we go. I only want these top 2 bands that are floating. Put this one back. Leave the bottom one. Okay. So I want these top two. There we go. Okay, so now right here, again, we have to do that that connection right there, because otherwise this is gonna stay floating. So let's go ahead and do that right now. If you want, you can just go ahead and grab that individual one now and put it around your peg. And this is the one that we're going to go ahead and put in here, so I'm just going to leave it right here for now. And I need to grab the two border ones, okay, and then this top one, and that's it. So now I'm going to go under all of them except the last two. Okay, there's the last two. Now I can go ahead and grab this one. And I'm going to pull it in and lay it on the peg. Okay. I'm going to swivel so it goes all the way down. And I'm going to grab the one that goes across now. It's this one. Okay. And now I can go ahead and put these back on there. So this one first. Now these two. Alright. Now to loom these. I'm going to loom all of them up. Okay, so now, now I need to go ahead and do all the side ones. Okay, so I'm going to go in here in the middle one, grab these two floating ones. Well, right here it's just an individual one, and then loop this. Yeah, come on, I need to go under all of them. And then this one's gonna go down. Right here. And then I'm gonna do this one. And then I'm gonna do this one. And then loop down. And then, oh, I forgot about that one. I forgot we had to put 3 bands on that one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab one of them and just loop it. And so now this, I need to add a band right there too. So I need to go under these, except the last two. Okay. And I'm gonna grab, I'm just gonna put it right here for now. I'm gonna grab that band that I just put on. And put it around the entire peg. Okay. Ugh. Now I can let go. And there's my two bands. I'm gonna go under all of them from this peg. Grab these two. Come on, I want those two. There we go. And loop that up. Okay. Yeah, so let's continue right here. I'm gonna go back into the middle and then grab that one and loop up. Right here, go under all of them, grab that floating one, and then loop up. Grab the floating one, and then loop up. And again, we did the same thing on this one. So if you want, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this one like this. I'm gonna go under these, grab one. Hang on, I need to put these bands back on. Let me just fix that really quick. There we go. And there we go. So this is the one I need to grab. There we go. Okay, now right here, oh, hang on, let me loop this one too. This bottom one, and loop it up. Now right here, I need to grab these two. Alright, now let's finish the rest of the V's. These are the top ones, so they go down. Push my bands down. Now these. Okay, now let's finish up our border. Right here is where we left off. It's a little tight, so I'm going to loosen it up. And then you're only going to go up twice on this one. One, and then two. Okay, so because that's the middle one, so these have to go down in that direction. Let's go up right here. This is where we last left off, where my teardrop is at. I need to make sure I'm going under all of the bands. Grab the bottom two. Now it's holding all of them, so keep doing that. And we're going to do backwards looming again. Right here. Yeah, come on. Get back on the peg. There we go. And one more time. And there we go. So now it's in the middle. Okay. Now that that's in the middle, we're gonna go ahead and grab 2 bands to use as a slip knot. I'm using 2 just for security purposes. And I'm gonna put them on right there because it's easier to fish for them. Grab them, put them there. Okay, and I'm gonna grab the bottom 2 and flip over and leave them there. Alright, now I'm gonna take out the entire thing. Last one is a slip knot, so I want to make sure I have one correctly. And there's our stomach, which looks kind of gross, but alright, so now go ahead and shape it. It's a pretty large stomach. Alright, cool. I don't need that anymore because my slip knot's holding onto it. Just gonna tighten it so I know nothing's gonna happen. Just tug and shape it to make sure everything's out correctly, and yeah, came out nice. Okay, let's go and fit it. The stomach is really large. It's gonna go right there because Charizard needs a pretty large stomach. And then the rest is gonna go down here. And just fold it and shape it. Yeah. And it looks a little extra large, but don't worry. That's because this has to go down there. Yeah. Come on. And this is gonna connect down there. I know it's really weird, but yeah, it'll come out. Alright, let's go ahead and get that set up to connect.